Hello, everybody. We welcome you back here to another week, another episode of the Tommy Maroon Sports Show on WCTV. And as usual, we have so much stuff, so much action. It's a very special episode because, well, we're going to preview some really fun high school basketball. And, of course, it's all coming up right here, WCTV. This is where we are at. And our trivia question of the week right here. How many starting quarterbacks have the Cleveland Browns had since 1999? And the correct answer is an unbelievable amount of 30. And of course, Baker Mayfield is the quarterback to end all quarterbacks here in Cleveland. There's no doubting it. There's no denying it, folks. Now time to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to add some player stats, including Kevin Love, who has been doing a great job being the number one guy. 17.9 points per game, 11.8 rebounds per game. Colin Sexton is averaging 17.8 points per game. I can really see Colin Sexton being one of the best players in the NBA soon. Jordan Clarkson, 14.9 points per game. And Tristan Thompson at 14.4 points per game and 9.9 rebounds per game. Now we got to look at the Cleveland Cavaliers in the standings. We have a 5-12 record. We are 13th in the Eastern Conference, 5th in the Central Division, which is composed of other two below-average teams, which are the Chicago Bulls and Detroit Pistons. One pretty good team like Indiana, and the Eastern Conference favorite, the Milwaukee Bucks, led by Giannis. Need I say more? 4th worst record in the NBA, owing the Atlanta Hawks, New York Knicks, and the Golden State Warriors. Yes, the Golden State Warriors have been struggling. Yes, the Golden State Warriors are looking like a hot pile of mush, as I like to call them, the Price is Right Longhorn, because that's been their season summed up. No Steph Curry, no Klay Thompson, no KD. Draymond Green can't take it. Steve Kerr's crying. Yes. The once great dynasty is coming to an end. We are 4-10 in Eastern Conference play. We're 3-5 at the Rock and 2-7 on the road. And of course, time to look at some game recaps. Cavs at Miami, the red-hot Miami Heat, no pun intended, but the Cavs lost 124-100. You had Duncan Robinson with 29 points for the Heat. Tyler Harrow with 22 points. Jimmy Butler, 21. Of course, Jimmy Butler's been doing a great job. Went from Philly to Miami. He was with Chicago. Of course, Jimmy Butler, a really great basketball player. Of course, Kevin Love had 25 points, 13 rebounds. Colin Sexton with 19. And the Cavs, well, we lost the lead early on in the first quarter. We went to 4-10 while Miami continuing their red-hot reign, 10-3. And then the Cavs at the Mavs, another boiling hot team coming out of nowhere like Miami. The Cavs lost by an incredible score of 143-101. And no, the game did not go into overtime. Now Luka Doncic, of course Luka Doncic, 30 points, 14 assists, 7 rebounds. Luka Doncic in his second season is looking like an MVP caliber player, really being a huge difference in Los Angeles. Kristaps Porzingis also doing a great job there in Dallas. 17 points and 7 rebounds, while Darius Garland, he had 23 points. While Cedi Osman, 18 points. We were trailing from the second quarter on. He went down to 4-11. Dallas went to 10-5. And then the next game was the Cavs against the Portland Trail Blazers. And before the game in which the Cavs played the Trailblazers, the Highland Hornets girls basketball team played Padua Franciscan, and the Highland Hornets girls basketball team won 54-32. That is a great talented a great talented team. Of course, that's some revenge for Highland against Padua, who 3-stocked the Hornets in volleyball in the postseason. Of course, some of those volleyball players are on the basketball team. And let me tell you something, both of those teams for Highland are really good. I mean, basketball could be the season we win because, well, the Hornets are really looking good, beating Padua. But anyways, we got to get back to the Trailblazers and Cavs. Jordan Clarkson put up 28 points. Larry Nance Jr., 11 points, 12 rebounds. Damian Lillard had 23 points. C.J. McCollum had 20. And the Trailblazers were out to an unusually low 42 points during the first half. We were leading all second half while the Cavs went to 5-11. And Portland has been an unusual 5-12. That's not what many people expected. Now it's time to go Cavs to the Nets. And that was a frustrating game. Excuse me, I just realized that the game for Highland Padua was after the Cavs-Nets game. Excuse me on that. I stand corrected. I'm sorry for that. But the Nets won 108-106. Spencer Dinwiddie had 23 points and had the game-winning fadeaway late in the game. Jarrett Allen had 22 points, 21 rebounds. Joe Harris, 19 points. Jordan Clarkson, 23 points. Larry Nance Jr., 20 points, 13 rebounds. Brooklyn went 9-8 after that. We went 5-12. And we'll be playing the Orlando Magic tonight. We lost our first game to the Magic, so we'll see if we can do better. And, of course, we can always do better because we're the Cavs. And the Cavs are really great. They are a rebuilding team. A few years from now, they'll be one of the best. And, of course, the Cleveland Browns. That's right, baby. We got to look at the stats. Baker, 2,721 yards, 7.3 yards per attempt, 60.3 completion percentage, and 14 touchdowns, and very few interceptions, just 13 now. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller every game. Nick Chubb, 1,117 yards, second in the NFL, just a little behind Christian McCaffrey, 5 yards per carry, 101.5 yards per game, 7 touchdowns, doing really great for my fantasy team. Jarvis Landry, boiling hot, 843 receiving yards, 14.3 yards per reception, 5 touchdowns. OBJ, 776 receiving yards, 14.2 yards per reception, 2 touchdowns. Ricky Seals-Jones, 155 yards, 17.2 yards per reception, 2 touchdowns. Demetrius Harris, 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. And we got to look at our standings after we looked at the Cavs standings. The Browns standings right there. And we have a 5-6 record. We won our last 3 games, all of them at home. 3-3 at home, baby. 2-3 on the road. 2-2 against the AFC North. Both of our wins coming against big teams. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. 5-3 in the AFC. 1 game back of Pittsburgh for the second wild card. You gotta believe this team. They're a potential playoff team. If we beat Pittsburgh, guess what? We will probably have the second wild card. Could this be the season? And we gotta look at last Sunday, the Browns against Free Willy. Yes, the Miami Dolphins. We won 41-24 against Free Willy's dead brother, as the Brownies won 5-6, Free Willy 2-9. Baker won 24 for 34, 327 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Nick Chubb, 21 carries, 106 yards, and 1 touchdown. There's a flag on a Free Willy player, otherwise known as the Miami Dolphins. It's an inside joke at my school. Jarvis, he had 10 receptions, 148 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and that was one of them. You see that right there? Odell, 6 receptions, 84 yards, and 1 touchdown. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, or as one of my favorite YouTubers likes to call him, Fitzception, went 21 for 39, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Really not a bad game, but 2 Fitzceptions. Mayfield had a 35-yard bomb to Beckham in the first quarter. Kareem had a 6-yard touchdown in the second quarter. As the Browns, we were up 28-3 at halftime. Just goes to show how unbelievable we were. Up next, us against Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. We're going past the Yinzer Belt in Pittsburgh. Free Willy will be playing the Eagles. We'll see if the Eagles can do something. Of course, Doug Peterson may be on the hot seat right there. Doug Peterson used to be a quarterback here for the Cleveland Browns, by the way. Time to go to the Suburban League basketball preview. Everything you need is right there on your screen. For the American Conference, I say the Highland Hornets and Copley Indians will be tied for the American Conference Championship, 9-3 record. Revere will go 15-6, 8-4. Now, by the way, some of these teams may have less than 22 games. I tried to look at their schedule. Some of them had less than 22. I'm sorry if I made any mistakes. Okay, so Aurora, 10-12, 6-6 record. Barberton will go 11-9, 4-8. Roosevelt, 8-14, 3-9. They'll be tied with Talmadge, who goes 8-13, 3-9. In the National Conference, you got Twidsburg with a 14-8 record, 11-3, good enough for the National Conference. Let me tell you something. The National Conference is really something to believe, I gotta admit. North Royalton is going to go 14-6, 9-5 record. Brecksville Broadview Heights, 14-6 record, 9-5 in the National Conference as well. Hudson Wadsworth will be tied with an 8-6 National Conference record. Nordonia will have a 5-9. Stowe will be 4-10. Cuyahoga Falls 1-13. So we got to look at the big teams. That's right, the big teams. Highland, Copley, Revere, Twidsburg, North Royalton, and Brecksville. Of course, Revere, Copley, and Highland, in my opinion, it's coming down those three. If it's not Copley, it's going to be Highland and Revere. And of course, the middle-of-the-road teams, being Hudson, Wadsworth, and Aurora. But they're not middle-of-the-road teams. They're still great schools. I can't wait to see what they do. And surprises are Barberton, Roosevelt, Talmadge, Nordonia, Stowe, and Cuyahoga Falls. But remember, even though some of these teams I had at low records, you got to remember that's why they play the game. If you remember back in August, I had Brecksville and Hudson not doing that good or not doing that well for the football season. Guess what? They took it as an offense, and they did a phenomenal job. Hudson and Brecksville and Wadsworth all won the National Conference, and I did not even expect Brecksville and Hudson. So if I say they may not do as well, that doesn't mean they're not bad. That means they could still be a great team. And you know what? At the end of the day, they're all great teams. I love all these schools. I wish all of you the best of luck this season if you're a basketball player. Do well for your team, represent your school, and do a phenomenal job. I'm excited for you. And we got to look at big interleague games. Highland against Firestone. I say the Hornets should beat Firestone. Highland against Walsh. Walsh should win. Copley against Green. That will be a Green victory. Revere against Padua. The Minutemen will lose. Twidsburg against Chagrin Falls. The Twidsburg Tigers should win. North Royalton against Old Set Falls. The Bears are going to win that. Brecksville against Ava. That will be a B victory. B victory. So big interconference games include Highland against Wadsworth, which should be a Highland victory at Granger. Copley against Twidsburg. I say Copley should win that. Revere against Wadsworth, a Revere victory, of course. Wadsworth is a great school, like all 15 teams in the Suburban League. And, of course, a big in-conference series. Highland against Copley, that should be a split series. Highland against Revere, split series. Copley, Revere, split series. Highland against Barberton, those Hornets should sweep. And then Brecksville against North Royalton, a split series. Wadsworth against Twidsburg, the Grizzlies will sweep. North Royalton against Wadsworth, the Bears are going to sweep. Brecksville against Twidsburg, that'll be a split series. Basketball season's looking excited. Subscribe to the Highland Hornets Sports Network, where we will be uploading highlights of each Highland Hornets game with me filming and me doing the play-by-play announcing and me setting up everything. But it's not just me. It's the players. It's the coaches. Some of those players are my real good friends. And the coach, I'm real good friends with him. And all the other players on the other teams are also great people. I know that. The coaches are great people. Really a pleasure to meet them this year. Can't wait to see. The referees are great people as well. I know some people may want to criticize referees, but don't. Remember, this is a high school sport. You cannot criticize referees. They don't do anything wrong. All they're trying to do is make a fair and good game. They're not ripping off stuff. They're trying to be nice and even, trying to be nice, balanced, trying to be good. And you know what? They do a great job at it. I really love those refs. They do a great job at it. High school refs, some of the best, I must admit. I'm actually serious. So we're going to wrap up now, as we will have our topics for next week's show, which include high school basketball and these two things, the Cavaliers and the Cleveland Browns, as we'll be recapping a lot of stuff between these two teams. And now time for my trivia question. Put on your Browns cap for this one. Who did the Cleveland Browns beat in their last playoff game? Or last playoff victory? In their last playoff victory. Got your answer? Well, we'll reveal it next Wednesday on Tommy Maroon Sports Show. Till then, have a great rest of your week.